you know how powerful this is? Do you know what it means in your life? Or maybe I should ask the question, does it mean anything in your life? Until you learn how to study it, see what God is saying to you, you'll never really be able to fulfill your purpose. Come on and join us. Join us for 45 minutes of purpose here at 45th Street Baptist Church. I guarantee you, you'll come out thinking differently. And my prayer is, somewhere along the line, you'll find the purpose that God has for you. Come on in and join us.
Hello? Hello?
Welcome to 45 Minutes of Purpose with Reverend Andre D. Sparks.
All right. Good evening, good people. It is an absolute pleasure to be with you all tonight for another edition of 45 Minutes of Purpose, the XL edition. As we know, XL stands for either extra long, extra length, just simply meaning that we're going to take it a little bit longer because what we're talking about is so rich, so meaty, as it is every night. And so tonight is the third installment of our back to school series. The first week we had a group of principals on, and they did a phenomenal job just kind of explaining their process for opening up and going through this different school year. And then last week, we heard from some dynamic educators, some of our teachers that are out here navigating this whole thing, that are putting themselves on the front lines for our students and honestly for our families. And so thankful for the conversation we had with them this week. And tonight, I have the privilege of talking to some of our dynamic students, the lifeblood of the system. If it wasn't for the students, there would be no school systems. And so it's an absolute honor to talk tonight and hear from those who arguably are the most impacted by this thing that we know as COVID-19 and what it's done for education and going back to school and things of that nature. And so we're just going to jump into it. So tonight we've got 5 dynamic young people on with us tonight, and they represent a broad range of academic interest and pursuits. And so I want to let them introduce themselves to you all real quick. And so if you don't mind, we'll start with Jess. Introduce yourself, give us your name, your school, and grade, if you don't mind.
Okay. Hi, my name is Jessica Taylor. I go to Hoover High School, and I'll be a junior starting tomorrow, I guess.
That's what's up. Thank you for being on tonight. All right, TJ.
I am TJ. I am homeschooled, and I'm going into 9th grade.
Awesome. Good to have you on, man. All right, Briona. Unmute. You got it. Unmute yourself. There you go. Well, hold on. Do it one more time. Just got muted back. There we go. All right, we're good.
Hi, I'm Briona Peoples, and I go to Wenonah High School. I'm going to the 11th grade.
Awesome. Good to have you on tonight. All right. Annissa.
Hi, I'm Annissa Owens from Southern University in Baton Rouge, and I've already started school.
And you are you a freshman college?
I'm a freshman. I am a freshman in college.
All right. Good to have you on. Last but not least, Rick.
Hey, how y'all doing? My name is Ricky Persons Jr. I'm a senior electrical engineering major at Tuskegee University. And this is my last semester, so I'm gonna be done maybe in November, or December, depending on what goes on.
Awesome. Good to have you on as well. So as you all can see, we've got a high school freshman, we've got 2 juniors, a college freshman, and a college senior. So we've got a broad range of perspectives tonight, which is what we want, because we really want to hear what our students are thinking about this time. And so let's just jump into it, y'all. I want to just ask you all a couple of questions, and we're just gonna talk. So it doesn't seem like any of you all are nervous. So if you are, don't be. But the good thing is you're in the comfort of home, you're chilling, you're relaxed. It's just us having a good old conversation in front of a few hundred people. It's all good. All right. That being said, let's jump into it. So just straight up, I just want to ask you all first off, just honestly, just how are you feeling right now? Just how you doing? Plain and simple. How you doing, Briona?
It's a big change for me because I'm really used to being at school, going to practice, stuff like that. So it's a little confusing as well with the whole corona stuff, the mask and everything else. I really, go by day.
Yeah, I understand. Now you said practice. You play basketball, right?
Yes, sir.
For the
Wenonah High.
Yeah, for Wenonah Lady Dragons. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
There it is. That is good stuff. All right. Annissa, what about you? How you doing? How you feeling? I know you just got to Southern University. You're still within your first week, I think, roughly, maybe a little over. How you feeling?
It's different. Like, I can tell it's something different than what they're usually doing. But since, like, it's my first time here, I can't really say what it has been from what it is now. So I'm just going with the flow right now.
Okay. So far, your first week of college, thumbs up, thumbs down, sideways?
It was good. It was great.
All right. Good stuff. All right. What about you, TJ? How you feeling, man? Just how you doing? How you feeling about right now?
I'm, it's a change, what they said, but really, nothing's really changing because I've been homeschooling for like 1 to 2 years so far.
Right.
So the only thing that's really changed is how we can't go to the library or to the to go inside somewhere to eat.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Was the library, you've been homeschooled for about a year or so now.
Yeah.
Has the library been a big part of your educational, I guess, curriculum when it comes to homeschool?
Yes, sir. Because when the library is like where we usually go, like when I read, or my mom would just drop me off there.
Cool. All right. Man, I guess that is a change, I would imagine. All right. What about you, Jess? How you feeling?
A little bit nervous and just overwhelmed in general, because like it's a lot of stuff going on, and like I know for me, like at school, none of my friends are gonna be there because we have like the letters. So like it's basically going to a brand new school because I don't really know anybody.
Wow. Okay. Man, that's different. And this is your junior year, and it's such a shift like that. Yeah, that's crazy. All right, Rick, how about you, man? How you feeling?
Kind of a mix between like nervous and excited because it's my last semester, and but also I'm a type of student that likes to talk to my teachers and like be able to see them and look them in their face and get the individual time. So it's just I'm learning and I'm just going head first in it, honestly.
Nice. All right. So definitely a learning experience, definitely a different kind of vibe, even if it's your, I guess, first time like Annissa in a place, you can still sense that there's something different about right now. I think that's pretty standard across each of what each of you all said. So let me ask you, because we have such a varied range of perspectives here. When it comes to school, what is your status? Like, will you be going in person? Is it virtual? Is it a mixture? So what's your status? How will you be attending school? And then, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about going in that way? Let's go with Jess.
So I'm doing a blended schedule, which means I'll go in on Tuesdays and Fridays, and then I'll do virtual for the other days. And then I also only have 0 through 3rd period, so I'll leave early too. And I actually really like my schedule because when we went to Walmart for the first time, I know that sounds weird, but when we went to Walmart for the first time, I was so overwhelmed with like all the people and stuff around me. So with me like only gonna be there for a few hours, and then I've like looked to see who's in my class to see how many people are in there. There's only like 10 other people. So I think it'll be good because it's not overwhelming with me being there the whole school day, and it's only a few hours.
So it sounds like you one of them folks who say, I ain't playing with this corona thing. I don't even want to touch it. I don't want to be nowhere. Don't even want to risk it, right? You just,
So I've
yeah.
seen people from my school, like they're posting pictures, like going out to eat and stuff. I know they haven't been social distancing. So I know somebody has to. And I've had friends who've gotten it too. So it's, yeah.
Wow. Annissa, what about you? Freshman year at Southern, you just got there. Have they announced kind of what the plan is for class? Are you in class? Is it a little bit of both? What is it like?
Okay, so before I got here, it was hybrid, so it would be online and in class, but since the cases haven't gone down, they've really turned all the classes to online to keep it safe for all the students. So I've been in my dorm room just about all day, every day.
Wow. So
Unless
you went, so you went into it under the guise of having a hybrid schedule, and now all of your classes are virtual.
Yes.
Wow. How you feeling about that? Like, do you feel like you're missing something from not being in an actual lecture hall or a college class?
Yes. Like the student-teacher relationship, I don't think I could connect with the teacher like as I would in person, because she's focused about if the connection's okay or if everybody can hear her or stuff like that. Like we spend most of our class talking about connection more than just the actual like lesson. So.
Wow. Okay. Wow. What about you, Rick? Last semester, electrical engineering major. What's the structure looking like for you to finish this thing on up?
Well, I have a house by the school, so since I'm paying rent also, and it's my last semester, and I like to talk to my teachers, I chose to come down here and do hybrid. So that means I can do virtual or I can go into the classroom. And but even virtual, just like Annissa was saying, I have one teacher where their microphone doesn't even work really. So it's like we spend most of the time talking about the connection, and we still have to like rewatch or find a way that we can understand what he's talking about. So
goodness.
Yeah.
Is the when it comes to if you do decide to go to class, is there a limit to how many students can be in the class?
Well, they set up a time schedule to where a lot of people aren't. There's not going to be a lot of traffic and stuff. And also, I'm electrical engineer in my senior year, so at Tuskegee. So it's like most of our classes, the students should be only be like 6 or 8 students in the classroom. So I mean, and I wasn't planning on also going in really unless I really have to talk to my teacher about something. So.
Gotcha. All right, Briona, what about you at Wenonah? What's the plan?
We're doing virtual for the first 9 weeks, and then after that, we probably will go back to school. So that is a big change for me. I'm more of a hands-on learner. So right. I like being able to talk to my teachers and make sure I'm doing certain things right. And I really don't like online because I want to be at school talking to my teachers, but I have to deal with it. So
yeah. All right. And last but not least, TJ, I know you're doing the homeschool thing, and the library is kind of that not being a much of an option right now. So for you, how are you all kind of how are you going to navigate this? Like, what's your schedule going to look like now with the different changes?
So it's really, like I said, I'm homeschooled. So really, it's not really going to make a giant change, but it's some things like if we're going to drop off a book or pick up a book, even we can drop them off, but when you can't like go inside the library or anything. So
yeah. So really the biggest shift for you is just going to be the lack of library access, right? Everything else pretty standard.
Because really, I do I like do my math on the computer or sometimes even in a book or anything. So it's really not gonna affect me too much.
Okay. So not much of a transition for you. All right, cool. Well, let me ask you all this. What would you say is the worst part about this situation we find ourselves in right now? And because, we know that, of course, there's a reason for everything. You can find a silver lining, being optimistic, etc. what would you say has been the best part? I know that might kind of sound crazy to some people, but what's the worst part about kind of where we are right now, but also what's been the best part for you? Briona.
I would say the best part is maybe more time to focus on ourselves and better certain goals we have. And maybe the worst part is all the deaths and having to be so safe and not being able to see your family and people graduating, not having the whole family there, and a lot of big changes with school and other things.
Wow, that's good stuff. Good point. Good point. What about you, Rick? Best part, worst part, worst part, best part.
Okay, the worst part I'd say would be like the freshmen and stuff coming in. They won't really be able to like see each other and get to meet each other. I won't get to meet and network with any of the younger freshmen how I feel like I could, unless, I mean, we could create programs to where that would happen, but we would have to do that. And but a good part would be, I think people get to sit down and slow down and get to sit in the house with themselves and I guess focus on certain things that they need to focus on or can focus on things that they couldn't focus on before. So
yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Annissa, what about you? What's been the worst part, the best part?
The worst part for me would be not going to church as much as I would want to. Like when I was in Birmingham, how I can see everybody. That was a part of like my, what is it? I guess I won't say detox, but it would just make me feel better as a person. Just seeing everybody and hugging everybody and touching everybody. And now you have to be cautious of germs and COVID and stuff. But the best part, I would say when you're in your house, like you get to learn the secrets about your family. Like you get to become closer with your parents and siblings and stuff. Or like me with my roommate, I probably wouldn't see her as much if I did go to class every day, like be away. But yeah, I'm starting to get to know her better so I can build a trust and a bond with her.
Awesome. Good stuff. All right. What about you, TJ?
The worst part about all of this is how the restaurants are closed and how you can't go into stores without a mask, and sometimes it's hard to breathe. And the best part I would have to say is how when the best part. I don't really know. The best, I don't know.
Okay, all right. I mean, that's yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool. You don't have to, you don't have to rack your brain about it. I mean, for you, you've kind of, you got a house full. Y'all enjoy each other. Y'all are always doing cool stuff. So I don't know that much has probably changed for you in that regard. So you do what you do, which is a blessing. That's great. That's great. But I feel you on the restaurant piece. I feel you. Some we can get to go, but some food just does not taste the same unless you eat it in house. That's just my opinion. All right, just my opinion. But all right, Jess, last but not least, best part or worst part about where we are right now?
So I think the worst part for me would be like, because we're so social, like we haven't been able to, I haven't been able to see anybody. And like, I know at my school, the kids are still like having practices and stuff. And my coach like canceled all our practices. So I haven't seen any of my friends. And so like, that's just been hard because like, I'm a people person. So I like being around people and interacting with people. So like not going to church or like seeing our family and stuff. Yeah, that's been hard. But the best part has been just staying like in the house and learning new things. Cause I like to teach myself different skills. So like over these 5 or 6 months, I've been teaching myself different stuff. And even like when school like ended, like I was already over it. Like I was so like stressed out and I was just done. So it was like a breath of fresh air to like be home for that long.
Yeah, just kind of a decompress for you. Cool. All right. So to segue and just kind of use what you just said, yeah, we've been at this for 5-6 months now. It's crazy that it's been that long. Some people would say it feels like it's been that long, and others would say the 5 months have flown by. But thinking about the fact that for the most part, most of you have, you've been home for the last 5 months or so, just kind of maybe doing some of the same thing. You kind of did some virtual schooling at the end of the semester, but once the end of the semester hit, it was just summer, and I don't know if you had much going on or not, but how do you feel like you're adjusting to the change of now kind of jump starting and getting back into a different rhythm after having been in the same rhythm for the last 3 or 4 months? How do you feel like you're adjusting to, now, okay, school's about to kick back up and we're about to have to be real serious. Like we're going to probably be getting some real grades, because at the end of last semester, I mean, we're talking about what 80% of the year had already happened. So pretty much what you were gonna get is what you were gonna get. But now you're starting fresh in this kind of an environment. So after a summer of chilling, doing whatever, now you're jumping back into school and all your other responsibilities. How's that adjustment happening, or how are you doing with that adjustment? Annissa.
Okay, so since I was a graduating senior, the teachers at my school, they basically said you're practically done. So they stopped teaching us. Where our grade was at that moment was our grade for the end of the year.
Right.
And me saying that, I mean, like, I didn't learn anything else. So I was in the middle of a pre-cal class, that's a serious class, and I didn't learn as much as I should have. So me entering now, that's kind of like, I have to catch up more than what everybody else is doing, because I don't know. I wasn't taught what they are teaching me now. So I have to pick up from where I left off and then jump and be on the same page as everybody else in my class. So
the adjustment for you, you're kind of feeling like you're playing catch up almost. Yeah. Wow. That's okay, man. That's interesting. Okay. What about you, Briona? How are you doing? How are you dealing with the adjustment?
For me, since the break, we stopped practicing, and schools went virtual. So now we're back practicing like spaced out. So I'm getting used to that, and we already done virtual. So I'm pretty much already knowing how that's gonna be. So I'm okay at this point.
Okay. Cool. Rick, what about you?
Okay, well, this is my last semester, so I'm ready to graduate. But also, I just know that we're learning as well as the teachers are still learning this system and understanding how it's going to be and how people are understanding from the teachings. So I just hope they take that in consideration when they grade us. And I mean, I feel like I'm finna get out of there anyway. I'm just finna graduate, and I'm staying positive. So.
Gotcha. That's what's up. Stay positive. That's right. All right, TJ, what about you?
Well, there hasn't been a big adjustment, like towards like where I had to stay at home because I've been at home.
Right.
But I would say the only adjustment would be just going to the grocery store. I guess that's the only big, or at least semi-big adjustment that I've had to make.
Okay. All right. And Jess, after spending all this time at home, learning new things, teaching yourself new things, you're now having to jump back in the flow of school. How was that adjustment? How are you handling that adjustment?
I mean, honestly, I still haven't adjusted yet, because typically it takes a few days or maybe a few weeks to get back into the school thing. And like, even now, like, we've been out of school for like so long. So I think because school starts tomorrow for me. Once school starts, I think I'll be like better adjusted. But as of right now, every few hours, I'm like, oh, like, I'm a junior. School starts this week. Like, you actually need to get your stuff together.
Yeah. Hadn't quite sinking in yet, right? That you're actually going to school tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So considering that's the case, considering that, each of you are going back to school, whether it's in person, whether it's a hybrid, whether it's online only, if you had to say that you had a fear about the school year, one, do you have a fear? And if you say you do have at least one fear about the school year, what would it be? What would it be? Briona.
My biggest fear is maybe my grade slipping because, like I said, I do like hands-on learning, and I average pretty high grades. So that's my biggest concern, is making sure I'm doing good in school, even though I might have to do more by myself.
Wow, that's real. That's real. What about you, Annissa?
The same thing as Briona. I'm like, I have to be there to actually fully learn. But then the second biggest fear is them telling us that everybody has corona and I have to pack up and go home.
So your fear, your real fear is them saying you got to get up out of here and come back to Birmingham.
Yes. After I just
So you don't want to come back to Birmingham. You don't.
No, that's not the problem. It's just that I just unpacked everything. I just really got comfortable, and for them to tell us that we have to come home.
Gotcha. No, that makes perfect sense. I understand. All right. What about you, TJ? Any fear that you have about the school year?
There really is no fear. I'm not really scared of anything, but other than that, I'm gonna get corona, which I don't think I will, because I've been in the house most of the weeks that corona's been here. So I don't really have a big fear other than that.
Okay. All right. Jess.
So, like everybody else said, like the grades, because I mean, this is junior year. Everybody always talks about how like this is the year. But then also, I'm scared of catching it and giving it to someone else. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing if I'm like quarantined inside my house, and like obviously that's a big deal too. But like, I don't want to give it to someone else and make someone else sick too.
Right. It's very valid. All right. Last but not least, Rick. Any fear about this last semester for you?
As far as fear, no, because I'm graduating no matter what. I'm getting out of here no matter what. But I want my teachers to understand the barrier between us, like the talking barrier, the technology barrier, all of that.
Cool. All right. So, do any of you? I think Jess, you said it earlier. But do any of you know of anybody personally close to you, whatever, who actually contracted COVID-19? Anybody that was affected by that? Do you all know of anybody specifically?
No.
Jess, you were yes, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
I do not. No.
Okay. So Annissa, Rick, and Jess, you all said yes, and Briona and TJ no, right?
Yes, sir.
Wow. So for the ones who have experienced someone that you know contracting it, how did they? Did everybody come out okay? Did they tell you anything about the experience? Just anything on that?
The recovery for the people that I know was kind of faster than what people are putting on the news. Like everybody that they're putting on the news is close to dying, or like they're just putting up death rates. They're not showing anybody who actually recovered from it. So the people I know, they recovered from it and they're fine now.
Okay. Cool. What about you, Jess, Rick? Any feedback from those people?
So I actually have two friends. So one of my friends, he couldn't taste anything, and he got in like May or June, and like just started getting his taste back like in July. And then my other friend, she just got it, and she said she had a fever at the beginning, and now she can't like really taste or smell anything. So, but she said that she feels fine, and my other friend, he recovered. So,
man, to lose your sense of taste and smell, I can't even imagine what that's like. Wow, Rick, the people who who got affected by it, any feedback from them on the experience or how they turned out?
Yeah, my line brother Jalen actually had COVID-19, and he sent us a long group message about it. I mean, a long message about it, and We just talked about it. He just told us to make sure that we taking our precautions, like the mask, washing our hands, social distancing, and all that. And I actually saw him today, and I mean, it's all good.
Good. That's good. That's a good point you make. What I've seen is that typically, for the most part, the younger that you are, the more kind of invincible you might seem in terms of, well, you know, that's kind of a them virus, a them disease, pretty protected from it. As you all just kind of affirm, young people can get it, do get it, and are being affected by it. So that being said, just kind of wanted to figure out from your vantage point. First off, any of you all involved in any kind of extracurriculars? Just if you extracurriculars, raise your hand. Anybody? Okay. So how do you feel? First off, are extracurriculars resuming? And then secondly, how do you feel about extracurriculars starting back up? Briona.
It's a little risky because you really don't know what the other people on the team have been doing, who they've been around. So you really have to be really precautious about what you do and make sure you wash your hands and clean the balls and make sure we're social distancing at all times. Like we get our temperature checks before practice and stuff like that, basically.
Okay. So risky, but are you in favor of it? Are you saying, yeah, we still need to participate?
I think we should still. We just have to be really precautious and make sure we're doing everything right and being clean.
All right. Jess, what about you?
I'm a varsity basketball cheerleader. So we are still resuming. We have to wear masks when we cheer, and we're still going to practices and stuff. But I don't think it's that big of a deal because we're not near each other. Like we can cheer and be 6 feet apart, and we don't have to touch each other for anything. So that's good. But I do think that like most other sports, like you can resume because you can like kind of clean the balls and you can social distance and stuff. But like football, like I think that's a little bit risky. So yeah.
So when it comes to, you say you're varsity basketball, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, do you all, and this might be a little early to know, but do you know if fans are going to be allowed in the games?
They haven't said yet, but they've been saying that we can go to the football games, like at the Met, and they were telling us that we just have to wear masks and stuff. I don't know how that's supposed to work, because if you've ever been to the Met, like at a football game, they have like this big student section, and it's like everybody on top of each other.
Yeah.
And like they're gonna say to wear your mask, but people are gonna take them off as soon as they get in there. So, but we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. Rick, what about you, man? I think you raised your hands. Who said you were in extracurriculars? How do you feel about kind of getting back involved in those activities?
Well, we have to find a way. Well, we have freshmen coming back on and all types of students coming back on. And as I'm a member of Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated.
Hey, buddy.
Yes, sir. 06, you know. And I'm also the campus DJ. So people always have events and stuff they want to do. And even outside the campus stuff. So, I mean, it's just a matter of being like problem solvers because the world has to keep going. So it's just a way of changing, just adjusting with the game, I could say.
Okay. Has there been any, have you been, I guess, contracted for any DJ gigs for the school just yet? Or is that just kind of on hold right now?
It's on hold right now. I've always done like virtual events. Like I thought I was gonna have to DJ today. I had my stuff set up to DJ on this call and stuff. So it'll be like online stuff. And yeah, it's some people outside of school that go to the school, but outside of school they trying to do types of stuff. But it's like it's hard. It's like you can't do that. So
yeah. Okay. All right. TJ and Annissa, I don't think you all raised your hand for extracurriculars, but let me ask it this way. Were there some things that you were maybe looking at getting involved in this coming school year, and now you're just kind of like, I don't know about that. Anything like that? Or was it pretty much just like, nah, I was good?
I was gonna think about playing for JL basketball.
Okay.
But I don't know about that anymore because
Okay.
basketball, you have to have pretty much contact.
Right.
So,
yeah. Okay. What about you, Annissa? Anything that was on your mind?
Yeah, joining the dance team, trying out for the dance team. So the dance team that I wanted to be on was for football season. And now that they've pushed football season to the spring season, that's going to be a change, and they don't have the whole distancing thing planned out. Like, even though it's dancing, you can dance 6 feet apart, you're still going to be close in contact with people. So yeah, I don't think I'm not interested right now.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So again, kind of getting back on the fact that you all have been kind of tucked off for 5 months, and I know it's been a little crazy. I know it's been, maybe even boring at some times. But let me ask you all this: what's something or some things you've been doing during this period to kind of try to maintain some sense of normalcy? I know you've probably been in the house a lot more than you wanted to be or than you've been used to being. But is there anything that you've done that has helped you at least kind of navigate this time and say, to just kind of give you a sense of, all right, not everything is all crazy and bad. This is still a normal part of my life. Is there anything particular you've been doing to maintain your normalcy? Jess.
So at the beginning of quarantine, I was like working out and stretching every day because that's what I was used to doing at school. And I kind of started getting lazy towards the end, but I have been eating healthier to compensate for that.
Okay.
So that's been helping me keep normalcy. Waking up like at normal times and like going to sleep at normal times, because at the beginning I would like be going to sleep at like 6 o'clock in the morning, but like once I kind of fixed my sleep schedule, that helped me shift. And then also typically, like, even when we have school, I watch a lot of Netflix like after school. That's like my decompress thing. So like I've been watching a whole bunch of Netflix, I guess, which is my normal thing to do.
Time out. Let me go back real quick. You said you were going to sleep at what time?
6 o'clock, or like some days like noon. Like
you were going to sleep at 6 a.m.?
Yes, it was really bad.
Wow. I don't even know what that means. But all right. Wow. All right. Rick, anything that you've been doing, man, to kind of maintain a sense of normalcy?
Working out. I also like going outside and being outside sometimes, and just DJing in here and selling the clothes, working on my brand. That stuff within the house.
Nice. I love it. What about you, TJ?
So what I did before COVID-19 came across, I would go to the Y, but they do still have gyms open and stuff, but I don't really feel safe going to a gym. Right. So what I usually do, I just go to the park close to my house, and then I just dribble around because they took the hoops down and stuff. So
yeah, man. On that point, real quick, I need to tell you, man, I love to see videos of you schooling your daddy on the court. So great job, brother. Keep doing what you do. Reverend Cade ain't got nothing on TJ. Briona, what about you? Anything to maintain your sense of normalcy?
I've been training and working out on my own, trying to stay in shape, dieting, stuff like that. My sleep schedule, just like she was saying, is awful. Wow. So that's not really the same as how it used to be. Well, it's getting back to normal. Maybe I'm going to sleep at like 2 o'clock in the morning now. It's better than what it was.
Wow.
So that's it.
Goodness. Okay, man. Last but not least, Annissa, anything that you've been doing to kind of maintain?
Me and my sister would go to the park, or me and my mom would go to the grocery store once a week just to get out the house to see the world just beside the four walls that we're sitting in.
You know, your sister's pretty miserable without you right now, right? You know that.
Okay.
You don't have to be modest. It's okay. All right. So, real quick, Rick, I know you said something, man, in your response. You slid it in there. It's a nice little plug, you know, as somebody who is an entrepreneur who, you know, is doing something in the branding arena. I want to give you a chance real quick. What is the brand that you're working on, man?
Yes, sir. I have Fresh Produce Media. It's a magazine as well as a radio show. We also do things out in the community. We promote healthy eating, financial education, like wealth training, and that's really it, man. Just music. It's just like all types of things that can be like a fruit to the community. You know what I'm saying? And you know, seeds plant themselves. So.
Hey, man, salute. That's great, man. That's awesome. Awesome. Fresh Produce Media. Good stuff, man. Shout out to you for that. That's good stuff. Good stuff. Keep that going. All right. We got about 15, 20 more minutes. And just kind of want to give you guys a chance to kind of talk a little bit more about just kind of your experience and what you're going into and how you're feeling about it. I know we talked about friends, you know, contracting COVID-19 and having some concern about getting it ourselves once we start kind of getting back to life, quote unquote. How do you feel that you've been handling the all the different measures and protocols, the hand washing and the social distancing and mask wearing? Honestly speaking, how do you feel like you've been doing when it comes to, you know, doing what you should be doing in this time? Briona.
I think I've been doing pretty decent. That's not really good, but I've been doing okay. I'm strict on myself when it comes to basketball because I know that's more serious, but at home, I'm a little like, you know, a little lenient, like, I'll do this later, I'll disinfect this later or whatever. But I'm really stricter with more about social distancing and also like being around people, like, but not really as much as at home as how much I should wipe stuff down. But yeah.
Okay, all right, that's fair. That's fair. What about you, Jess? How do you think you're doing with all the different things in place?
I think I've been doing well. Like, I think part of it has to do with like, my cousin Brittany, she's just been like telling us stuff like, cause she works at UAB, so she's been seeing this, and like, she was telling us how I've seen so many stories about how people have been in the hospital like by themselves. So like that's always in the back of my head. So I always make sure to like wash my hands and do all social distance and things like that, because I don't want that to be me or someone in my family.
Right. And you say your cousin Brittany keeps you kind of informed of this stuff?
Yes, for sure.
Works at UAB, you said?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So she's pretty educated on these matters.
Yes.
All right. Good stuff. All right. What about you, Annissa? How have you been doing with the precautions?
I'm becoming more strict now that I'm in a new area, and I stay with more people than I would in my own house. I spray and wipe this room every single day before I leave and when I come back. The only thing I would say I forget is when it's really hot outside and I have on my mask, I tend to pull it down to breathe for a couple of seconds, which it could harm me, and I have to remember that, but it's just hot, so I will have to breathe. But I put it back on, I swear.
I don't know.
I do.
Few times I caught you slipping. You know, you and Destiny wear y'all mask underneath your bottom lip, so I don't know what y'all be doing. Y'all ain't no. But all right. What about you, TJ? Have you been doing what you should do to keep you and your loved ones safe?
I would say I have. I've been putting on hand sanitizer when I leave the grocery store, like Target or just a store in general.
Okay.
So yeah, I think I've been doing pretty good.
All right. What about you, Rick?
Yeah, I think I've been doing pretty good. But as far as like business goes, we just had a pop-up shop today. outside of my house where we sell, like me and my roommate sell clothes and do music and stuff like that. So we sold all our stuff outside the house. People had to wear their masks, social distance, but it's like you can't control everybody. You can do your best. It's just like people have their own minds that they have to do their own thing with. So
Right. Okay, so overall, sounds like y'all are saying that you do a pretty good job of taking seriously the precautions and making sure you're washing your hands and wiping stuff down and wearing your mask, except Annissa. But we'll work on that. Don't roll your eyes, Annissa. Don't do that. All right. So got a question that just came through and wanted to ask you all. I know we talked about any fears about this upcoming year. What are you most excited about? Is there anything that just like about this school year with all this is going on, all this turmoil, all this craziness, this real different kind of year? Is there anything that just excites you about this school year? And I'm gonna go ahead and say, Rick, I know for you, you're gonna graduate. So we know you're excited about that. So you got to give us something else. What else excites you about this year?
Well,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rick. Go ahead.
Okay, it's all good. It's not about this year, but it's because we couldn't get out and go to football games and stuff last year. That all the classics and stuff will be like in April coming of next year. So I can look forward to that.
Okay, all right. So you're excited about the classics that have shifted from fall to spring?
Yes, sir. It's gonna be hot outside.
Oh, it is. It's gonna be a different kind of thing, but we're gonna see how it goes. What about you, TJ? You most excited about?
I'm most excited about the NBA bubble because I can still watch basketball.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm with you on that. I love the fact that games are on all day. I'm loving that right now. I'm with you. All right, Jess, what about you? What are you most excited about this school year?
I'm excited. I'm taking AP Psychology this year. I'm super excited for that. I want to be a criminal psychologist. Okay. So I'm really excited for that class. And also, I really like stationery and like brush pens and things like that. And so my mom got me a whole bunch of like stuff, and I've been like playing in it. So I'm excited for school just to use stuff.
Okay. All right. Nice. All right, Briona?
Really just this up and coming basketball season, getting prepared for that and trying to win a championship this year. So yeah.
Come through. All right. Last but not least, Annissa, what excites you the most in this college freshman?
The opportunity to actually be here. I mean, even though I'm not in classes, I still get to see other people and connect with them a little.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Good deal. So about 10 minutes left. A couple of questions I wanted to ask you all about church. First off, who all misses going to church?
Me.
All right. Everybody, look like everybody raising their hand. Annissa, you said you?
Yes.
I hadn't seen you in church since like last summer. I don't know, bro. All right. So let's get this stuff together. Let me ask you all this. What do you think? Because look, clearly, it's safe to say, like so many other things, I think the model for church now shifts a little bit. It has to look different. Just like I think school might be forever altered. The way we kind of do business might be forever changed. So for church, what do you all think church should look like moving forward? How do you want to see church come out of this? And what do you want to see it look like moving forward? Briona.
I've basically been watching like church and stuff with my mama that has been live on YouTube. And can you repeat the question again?
Yeah. How do you want to, once this is kind of, as we start to come out of this eventually, how do you think church should look going forward?
I heard about some churches like planning, maybe not like planning, but having to register already to like get in, so it won't be that many people in. So maybe they should start slowly and then like gradually getting back to how many people it used to be. I don't think they should rush it all at one time because people might not have been being as clean and they could have contracted the virus. And you really don't want to get people sick, even though we should go back to church, but we don't want to be sick at the same time.
So if I'm hearing you right, you want the church to kind of look like the Platinum with the VIP line outside, and you got to put a VIP to get in, like that, or are you just saying just sign up in advance and we can admit a certain number of people?
Yeah, like
I'm just messing with you. No, I've heard that idea actually. I've heard that some people are like, kind of like a registration format. Like, of course, it doesn't cost anything or nothing like that, but only a limited number of seats and kind of first come, first serve.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's an idea that some people are throwing around. Okay, all right. What about you, Jess? How do you think church should look going forward?
I definitely like the Zoom or like the live streaming church. I think that's awesome. So like different people can access it different ways. Cause I mean, some days you just run late or some days it's just not the day to get out of bed. But I do think, like Rihanna said, to like gradually go back into church because for me, I definitely like being in church better because at home there's so many distractions. Cause like in the middle of church, like in person, if I'm hungry, I'll just have to wait. But like if I'm at home, I'll be like, oh, like I'll be back. Let me just go get a snack right quick, and then resume. You know what I mean?
So you're loving the convenience of it right now. You're loving that bedside Baptist actually means bedside Baptist. Now you can actually still be at church and in your pajamas. You like that?
I like it, but I don't. Like I would rather be in person because like I also tend to like oversleep and stuff like that. And like, if we're going to church, then I'm more awake and I'm paying more attention. Not that I'm not paying attention now.
You got caught. You got caught. Pastor Sparks just says she ain't listening to your sermons online.
I am. I definitely am. I'm watching it with my mom.
Oh, okay. All right. TJ, what about you, man? Do you have any ideas or any thoughts on should church look kind of a different way moving forward?
I think like what they said, we should gradually put more people in the church, but we should take our time with it because you don't want anybody to catch it or anything. But also like what we're doing now, how I can wake up in the morning and get some hot chocolate and sit on the sofa, watch the sermon.
So you got your sophisticated worship on. I ain't mad at you. Good stuff. So another thought of gradually phasing in. All right, Rick, what about you, man? Do you think church should look? How do you think it should look coming out of the coronavirus situation?
Man, I love church. I just want us to all be able to go back to church. I'm big on like human connection, being in person with people, being able to look them in their eyes and read their body language and tone. So it's like I think but also online, they got to have an online presence. So I'm for like the hybrid thing, doing both, so people can watch it at home and also be in church with each other.
Nice. Yeah, I agree. I've been saying for a while now that the online church ain't going anywhere. So even when we do go back, there still needs to be some online presence. So I agree with you on that one. All right, last but not least, Annissa, what do you think? Even though you hadn't been to church in a while, what do you think it should look like moving forward?
Okay, I think that we should keep it online, but as we gradually move back into church, we shouldn't all just feed into the sanctuary, like some going to fellowship hall or upstairs or in the sanctuary. Like we should still try our best to be social distance in church, but still be there and do online at the same time to keep everybody safe.
Cool. Do any of you think that church should be open now? Anybody like, yeah, we should be in church now? Anybody? Okay. So nobody feels that strong just yet about it. You still say, let's keep going online and we'll see in a few months. That's what you're saying? Okay. All right. Good stuff. All right. As we wrap up, last question I want to ask you all. First off, y'all have been great tonight. Y'all have shared some awesome information. Just kind of learning your perspectives and just kind of hearing where you all are coming from and how you're feeling about this time has been educating. I think it's been very informative, and I think a lot of the audience has really enjoyed what you all have had to say. Want to ask you all this: what is I got two questions, but I'm gonna ask one, and if we can get one more in, I'll slide it in there. But what's one thing that you have learned about yourself in the midst of this pandemic? What's one thing you've learned about yourself in the midst of COVID-19? Annissa. I'll come back to you. I'll come back. I see you. The wheels are turning. I'll give you a minute. Anybody, just whomever, just jump in. Okay, go ahead, Briona.
I have more grind to myself than what I thought. Like with me being able to get up and actually work out by myself, like usually I don't do stuff like that. But with the pandemic going on, I feel myself more being devoted to my craft and basically, yeah.
Nice. So you found that you're real about your grind. You're more disciplined, right?
Yes, sir.
You're doing things without having to be told when it comes to working out and practicing and all of that.
Yes, sir.
Good stuff. All right. Rick, what about you?
I've been able to love myself more, honestly, and just be in the house, because it's a lot of stuff that I do that pulls me out the house. It pulls back and forth. So it's like I finally get to be at home for some time and just breathe,
So practicing some self-care.
Yes, sir. Exactly.
That's what's up. Good stuff. All right. TJ, what about you? What have you learned about yourself during this time?
I've learned that I don't like getting up in the morning that much. And that I like I wake up in the morning and I go outside and I jump rope. I'll go in the backyard and I'll dribble my basketball, or I'll just wake up and I'll eat more healthy than I have been. So,
wow. Man, that's deep, because I don't know a whole lot of people who can say that they've been eating healthier in this time. I think more folks are kind of gaining what they call COVID weight. So that's cool, man, that you're able to kind of discipline yourself to eat healthier. So good job to you. All right, Jess, what about you? What's one thing you learned about yourself?
I realized like how independent I was. I didn't I guess I knew I was independent, but like when we did virtual at the end of the year, like I liked it when teachers just gave me my work and just let me do my own stuff. And like I realized that even though I hang out in the room with my mom all day, I also like to be by myself a lot.
Okay.
So that's something I learned about myself.
So are you saying that you're tired of your mother? Is that what you're saying?
No, of course not.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah. And then I've also realized that like I'm getting older, I guess if that makes sense. Cause like if we'll go to Walmart, I'll be like, oh, can I go look at such and such? And my mom will be like, yeah, I'll meet you. And in my head, I'm like, you're about to leave me alone. Like, and I'm like, well, I'm about to be 16. Like, you could be by yourself in the store. Like, I can drive and stuff. So that's been like my thing that I've learned too.
That's a scary thought, and also an empowering thought to feel like, wow, I'm getting older.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're not the first to feel like that, for sure. All right, Annissa, what about you? I know the wheels are turning. So what's at least one thing you've learned about yourself during the pandemic?
I've learned that I have to be busy. Like I just lay around all day and do nothing. I always have to do something to feel like I've accomplished something for the day.
Sounds like somebody else I know. I won't call any names, but all right, good stuff. All right, real quick, last thing, just quick answer, and then we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna get out of here. I think it's important to ask you all, when this is all over, what do you think is like gonna be the first thing that you're gonna do? What's the first thing you want to do when Lord willing, sometime sooner rather than later, we'll be able to kind of go out again and experience life more than we have been lately. But when we get to some sort of normal living or whatever, what's the first thing that you want to do? Real quick. TJ, first thing.
Go back to the Y.
All right, nice. What about you, Jess?
Just experience being like an upperclassman in high school.
Cool. That's important. That's important. What about you, Briona?
Hang out with my friends, go more places with them because we're older now, so we can do more things.
Right.
So
All right. Hang out with friends. All right. What about you, Rick?
Trying to leave the country, man.
Where you trying to go?
Man, maybe back to Berlin or to Greece. I mean, not Greece, but Santorini, Greece, or like maybe Africa, maybe any of those places for real.
Nice, doing it big. I ain't mad at you. All right. And Annissa, first thing you want to do when we can get back out there?
Go out to eat.
Where you want to go out to eat?
Saltgrass.
Logan. Did you say Logan's?
Saltgrass.
Oh, Saltgrass. I'm sorry. I apologize. All right, Saltgrass. All right, well, good stuff. Well, y'all look, it has been an absolute joy to have this conversation with you all. I hope that it's been fun for you all. Like I said, you all have talked about some serious things, and we've had some silly moments, and it's just been a full conversation. And I know that everyone who's been tuning in has really, really, really loved and appreciated you all for sharing your thoughts and perspectives tonight. So that being said, man, we are praying for you all. We're claiming that it's going to be an awesome year for Annissa, for Rick, for TJ, Jess, Briona. This year is going to see health, it's going to see enjoyment, it's going to see safety, and it's going to see you all being successful. So that's what we're praying for. And if there's anything that we can do at 4-5, just let us know. All right. So proud of you all. Thanks for your time tonight, and we'll holler.
Bye.
bye.
All right, thank you for having me.
Bye.